Two excellent camera phones in a battle, side by side. Which one takes the better photos and which one has the edge when it comes to video recording? Is Nothing Phone 1, after all the updates, any threat to the mighty Google Pixel 7? Let's compare. Taking awesome pictures and transforming them into social media masterpieces without too much of effort. I guess everybody's looking for such a simple formula, especially for content creators and people who try to be present online without spending that much time on their production. Well, we have two fantastic competitors, the Google Pixel series, which have pretty much disrupted the market, but we also have the strong presence of Nothing Phone 1, which, although being a mid-ranger, is one of the best shooting smartphones of 2022. I'm doing this comparison in the early days of 2023, and both smartphones are running their latest software versions, Android 13 on the Pixel 7, and we have Nothing OS 1.17, the latest and greatest with improved camera quality, and it's time to try a lot of different scenarios and see how these two devices are going to compete side by side. There would be some rounds where you get to vote, and I'll share, of course, also my own opinion, so that's gonna be a serious battle. Let's go! For best experience, I strongly recommend to watch this video on a 4K monitor at its highest possible resolution. Let's begin with almost ideal conditions. Here are daytime photos captured by the main cameras of both phones. A bit of street photography with challenging dynamic range. Both photos are well exposed, similar color science with a bit more vibrance from Nothing Phone 1. The image appears touch sharper on the Pixel side, and if we zoom in a little bit and look at the building in yellow, there are clearly some more details left. The Pixel phone is equipped with the Samsung GN1 image sensor, slightly bigger than the Sony IMX766 inside the Nothing Phone 1. We have a very different approach with the processing, with Google relying on their homegrown Tensor system on a chip manufactured by Samsung, while Nothing Phone 1 relies on a TSMC-made Snapdragon 700 series by Qualcomm. I think seeing the second example strengthens my opinion that Pixel 7 is fantastic about performing better when it comes to dynamic range, and you can well distinguish a lot more details in the shadows of these photos. If I take the same snap with the ultra-wide cameras, here we can see a much sharper photo taken by Nothing Phone 1. It looks unusually grainy, but seems to also have a little more details, at least on the first side, and is a bit wider thanks to the optics used. Let's give these cameras a second chance, and feel free to pause the video at any point of time to look at the details. Nothing Phone's photo is significantly sharper, but look, there are more details and better dynamic range on the left, which by a minimal margin makes Google Pixel 7's wide-angle camera the winner here. Note that I can't praise any of these photos because of the too aggressive sharpening on the Nothing Phone and the too soft image on Pixel 7's side. But I have to admit that Google also provide very similar color science across the different camera sensors, which is rare to be seen even with high-end smartphones these days. None of these phones has a dedicated telephoto camera, but they can use software zoom. I don't know how exactly Google extracts that many details out of the 8x software zoom, but you can have the confidence that it works quite well, and anything up to, let's say, a 5x zoom is actually well usable. If you want to hear about the portraits, well, not a single weak point by Google Pixel 7. Some people may actually think it is made with a professional-grade camera, and although Nothing Phone 1's portrait is also darn good, placed side by side with a Google stylized picture, it's just not good enough. The algorithm has made a few mistakes with the artificial blur, and the sleeve's border looks artificially sharp, as if someone has cropped the portrait and placed it on a blurry background. Additionally, the Google Photos app, which comes as a standard app on your Pixel phone, can turn any photo into a portrait one with very high success rate. So if you're looking to make a lot of portrait photos, Google Pixel 7 is the real deal. Macro photography is a different beer though. Pixel 7 has no dedicated macro mode, so you can try to use the 2x zoom main camera function. Not that bad, but often misses the focus. The ultra-wide camera is not a great idea because of the too soft image anyway. Nothing Phone 1 does a much better job with the double zoom feature, and I think it's even better than the dedicated macro mode which engages the ultra-wide camera. Clear win for Nothing Phone 1, and if you need strong macro performance by Google, better think about the Pixel 7 Pro. If we switch to motion photography, aka video, Pixel 7 is clearly better. Almost gimbal-like stabilization in 4K, although in this scenario it's just handheld. More details, better colors, and look at the top of the buildings. This is where the job done by the Pixel 7 is remarkable. Fair to mention that Google Phone also supports 10-bit recording and can capture 4K even at 60 frames per second. No further investigation needed, another win for the Google Pixel phone. If we go ultra-wide and keep the recording at 4K 30 frames per second, brighter, better dynamic range, more details and better stabilization, so far video seems to be a key strength to the Google-made smartphone. The next thing to explore are daytime captured selfies. I think we can find good performance with both phones. This is the portrait mode where actually both have strong performance and quite nicely de-blur the background. If you can find reasons why any of these is better, please let me see your justification in the comments below the video. Testing the selfie cameras and also a good opportunity to compare the microphone quality of both smartphones. On the Nothing Phone 1 we count on 1080p recordings and there's no image stabilization, quite unfortunately. As for the microphone quality, I really would love to hear your opinion in the comment section below the video. Google Pixel 7 also doesn't seem to have stabilization, but after the video is ready, Google Photos is post-processing it and adding electronic image stabilization, so your videos are going to be super smooth. On top, recordings are up to 4K in terms of resolution. As for the microphone quality, comment down below and let me know what you think of it. Switching now to the dark side, with the first example, it's Google Pixel 7 all the way. The automatically triggered night mode is spectacular, but we have to give credit to Nothing Phone 1, which is almost as good. With the ultra-wide cameras, however, I actually like the Nothing Phone 1's photo a lot more. And there seem to be more details notable, sharper, better and more detailed in the second sample as well, so here's another win for the Nothing Phone 1. Taking portrait shots at night is definitely much better experience with the Google Pixel 7. Out of 5 samples, only 1 taken with the Nothing Phone was actually usable, while Pixel 7 kept on being consistent across all the samples taken. Video quality with the main camera is once again on the Pixel side, and what I love is the fact that there are way less artifacts than what is typical for hybrid stabilization. Nothing Phone 1 also does a good job, but nothing good enough to win in this round. On the other hand, switching to ultra-wide nighttime video, which I honestly doubt you will ever really need, Google Pixel has a lot more artifacts, worse stabilization and less details, so one more point to the Nothing Phone score. The comparison covering the selfie camera in nighttime is, however, in favor of Google Pixel 7. Not only photos look better, but also video performance seems to be a lot more stable. And unlike many other phones, Google actually put a lot of focus on the selfie camera, which has superb qualities, a rather good image sensor, and is capable of recording up to 4K resolution, significantly more than what Nothing Phone 1 provides. As a conclusion, there is no doubt that the overall better camera phone is Google Pixel 7. Very important to remind you that it also costs $200 more, but in many regions there often are discounts and you may buy the 256GB edition for $500 or $600, which is not that much more than Nothing Phone 1. Has superior hardware, worse battery life and quite a pleasant stock Android feeling. And although the main camera is not flagship grade, I think the main image sensor of Nothing Phone 1 is among the most capable that you can ever find on a mid-range priced smartphone. As for Google Pixel 7, if we exclude the lack of proper macro mode and the not-so-great ultra-wide camera, it can easily put to shame nearly twice more expensive smartphones. It has the quite unique cinematic video recording mode, which focuses on subjects and produces shallow depth of field while filming video in Full HD. but it lacks Camera Pro mode. So, which one is your preference? The slightly cheaper and almost excellent Nothing Phone 1, or the superb in terms of camera performance and of course obviously more expensive Google Pixel 7? Two really strong competitors, and of course you can also grab all the samples, photos and videos, and do your own research and comparison. Everything is posted in the video description area so that you get to choose the right one. And hopefully, if you're wondering which one of these two camera phones you should buy, this video has helped you, or at least given you enough of evidence why the camera of phone A or phone B is a better one. Well, in case you have other follow-up questions, comments are open for any sort of opinions to be shared. My name is Michael. As usual, it's been a pleasure to make this research for you. And in case you want more, let me know which other phones you want me to compare, and I'll do my best to follow up on your requests. Thank you very much for watching this episode. I look forward to see you in the next one. Bye!